I mentioned 6-month cash reserve because I think people should have a 6-month cash reserve, not subject to having to worry about whether the market's going to go up and down. Sometimes a CPA can help, sometimes a lawyer can help relative to estate planning or some things you might have to do. But I mean, that's literally at the stage where we come in. Where we come in with our clients. If you've done your work knowing what your available pool of assets are, we're very good at being able to sit down and try and talk about the risk tolerance that you might want to take. Because the one thing I can tell you is that the people that get in trouble when they invest their assets is that usually they're taking more risk than they thought they were going to take, and they take a wrong turn at the wrong time. And what I mean by that is, in March of '07, the market sold off. You had this big drop. It was probably the worst scare that occurred since even I've been into business, because I've never seen a stock market correction. It occurred in the span of 4 months where the world almost came unglued. The global financial system almost came unglued. Whether we like it or not, that's almost what happened here. And that's when Lehman Brothers went down, Bear Stearns, all these companies. Well, we've righted it again. It doesn't mean that everything's perfect. We got deficits. Christie's fighting in this state. But you're still sitting in a situation where over the long term, if you can arrive at having your own risk judgments, stocks are still going to give you, owning companies that have a dividend, that have the opportunity to grow. And if you can afford to own some of them, whether it's in a mutual fund in your 401k plan, whether it's an individual portfolio, that is your best ability over time to basically grow that real purchasing power I'm talking about. So there should be some mix of that, and the mix varies. I have clients that sit there with 40% of their money in stocks and 60% in fixed income items, and it doesn't matter that the fixed income items are earning only 1%. That's the risk absorber for them, because I'll tell you a few other things. One, nobody can time these markets. I've been doing this for 30 years. So anybody who tells you they can time them, most of the people time them once. They get the big publicity. I can never find them again the second time around. Okay, market timing doesn't work. People say, well, buy and hold is passé. Well, if you have it buy and hold, it isn't necessarily a buy and hold, but if you have it in a diversified portfolio where you have assets in fixed income, assets in equities, you can live through that along the way. I'm not a great believer that markets always go up. You will get corrections in the market. That's the reason why you don't want to be able to have more assets exposed to take a right turn where you should be taking a left turn. So, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, not with respect to me, but I'm going to take questions too. But I mean, when you go out and you look at a financial advisor, you look at a lawyer, you look at an insurance agent, you look at any of them, first of all, if I talk to one, I'm going to want to talk to 2 others. And you want to get some references from them. And you want to know whether there's other people involved. You want reputable people stepping in to help you in your time of need when you're trying to arrive at some of these decisions that you have to make. And it's something that, no question is too stupid. And a lot of people don't like to ask questions because they feel that they are stupid, or they think they're offering a stupid question. It doesn't matter. In my view, is people get in trouble because they don't ask, or Bernie Madoff, the guy who's in jail for the rest of his life. I had a situation in New Canaan, Connecticut, where the guy lost $9 million. He told me about Bernie Madoff's cocktail party 3 years ago. This is true. He told me about Bernie Madoff's 9.5%, he's in his 9.5% dividend reinvestment plan. And I'm sitting there going, where the hell do you get a 9.5% dividend reinvestment plan? I just said, I don't think so. And that was my only comment to him. I said, I don't know him, but I don't think so. And he told me that he never had a down year, 9.5% dividend reinvestment plan. And I feel badly for him. I mean, he had to sell his house in Nantucket, so he wasn't exactly poor, but, and he still has his house in New Canaan where I live. But I mean, he lost a lot of money. And, if it's, I'll just leave you with one, I'll throw it open to questions in the 20 minutes. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. People telling you they can compound money at 15%, or we give you a 15% return or 20% return. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I don't know about it, and I don't know many other people. I certainly don't know anyone that's found out that's happened. So I don't know whether this turns out to be boring. I'm going to throw it open to questions. But I mean, it's a lot of the work you can do for yourself. It's painful to think about it. It's painful to come up with if you have to come up with a conclusion that says the assets I have are going to erode because I can't maintain the income flow. And it's a tough question to deal with. Taking more risk doesn't solve the problem, but trying to balance out some risk against that might be able to.